Nice, guys. So look, 5th episode. We're talking about veterans of this podcasting game. Best overall team today. That's what we want to look at. That's what we want to talk about. So we've gone and done your best 1 to 11, and we've kind of created that fantasy team. But now what we're getting you to do is think about season teams throughout the years at Grace. So whether it was like, I don't know, the 80-81 or, 2004, 2005 team. Talk to me about some of your most notable teams that you've seen and watched at Grace.
One I want to start is a team that didn't win the league, only won promotion. I think they might have won a cup that year, but they got 100 points, lost only 2 games and still come second. And that was, but the thing is,
I think Marlow won the league?
Yeah, 101 points, and we beat Marlow twice that year. But it was boys from Rathbone Street era, so our old sponsors, and this Sky Blue kit, 87, 88 I want to say.
No, before that.
But you think 86, 87?
87.
I'm sure one of the older people might send a comment in and say that, let us know what year it was.
If we're wrong.
I was quite young back in them days, but I know Ty's older than me, so he might know more about it by about 6 months.
Yeah. Brutal though, because following a team all season and only seeing 2 games losing and not winning a league is like
it's tragic, isn't it? Yeah, it's crazy.
We went places like Woking and won. It was in any of them, Kingstonians, Leverett, all them sort of teams go there, just beat them.
Yeah.
And yeah, the games we lost, Billericay lost 2-1, and I think they come up mid-table or something.
I can't think who the other one was.
No.
I'm going to say Harrowborough or something.
Something random.
Yeah.
Probably like midweek, like depleted team or something.
But is there anything you can, I know it's like right at the very start of you watching, but is there anything you can remember about the teams itself?
Well, obviously, the back 5 beat itself. It's Barry Delph.
What, a bad team? No, I don't think Barry Delph was in that team.
It was, I'm sure it was.
Was it? I'm thinking it might have been Gary Calder or Gary Harrow.
No, it wasn't that time. I'm sure it's Barry Delph from that time. And Barry Fox. And it was the Phil Wettle left back. I think Phil Wettle.
Because that was Division 1 they won.
Yeah.
So.
And then obviously went to the Premier after.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might some older folk.
I'm sure it's Barry.
Maybe
I'm sure it's controversy already falling out. Like.
That's because we're not really old enough to remember it fully.
That one.
I remember being there every week, and we had like sky blue thing, dark blue trim. When it that kit.
Sky blue and black.
Was it black? Was it
Harris?
And they used to have the old, like the 80s style silk caps used to wear for the final, but the Essex Cup and that.
I think I've got one of them with my parents somewhere.
We'll have to get it out. Memorabilia day.
It basically looks like a jockey cap. Jockeys wear like silks. Like
rosettes. Always when people used to have rosettes back in the day as well.
Nice.
Like proper 80s merch.
I think it's used to be sky blue and black scarf as well.
Yeah.
What other?
Bring her back.
What other teams can you remember then? For notable teams then, for the 90s maybe.
You had the team that won the League Cup, Saxton's team, beat Enfield.
Was that 91, 92?
91, 92, 92, 93.
So that was like Jason Walker. Was Dwight Marshall around Winston Whittingham?
Yeah, it was Dwight Marshall, Winston Whittingham.
Was Tony Whitter? Was that?
I think Tony Whitter was around that time, but he only played about 10 games before he went to Palace.
Because he was that good.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think who played midfield for that team?
I think it was John Campbell, Phil Salmons, Jim Sheridan potentially.
I think he's still hanging around. He's a good player, but he's just famous for missing that one chance in that big game.
And I'm going to think.
Well, tell me about it.
David Still on the wing. David Still was a winger.
Yeah, David Still,
tiny, smaller than Tom.
Is there anyone taller? Tell me about that though, because that's you've said about that one incident which defined him. I mean, explain that to me because I've never seen it.
He was the captain, but because he was in such a great team, he was like him and Phil Sampson were like solid players, and we had a lot of like creative flair and stuff like that. Like you said, like pace and that. And they did the sort of unnoticed hard work. But he had that one chance.
If only it was his brother.
Yeah,
only it was
Yeah.
If only it was 10.
So, and I said that was when the game would have drawn Wickham, and they was winning the conference. Might have moved Wickham.
Yeah, it's basically Gateshead had scored quite early. The crowd was massive because the day after was Newcastle West Ham, so a lot of Geordies had travelled down. And I think the crowd's about 1,500. So for us, that was like huge.
It was like 300-400.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And they scored quite early. You know, when you're like, these are conference side, they've scored. This is going to be
a long day.
A long day. And after that, we sort of controlled the game, and then Jason Walker
locked the keeper,
got the really good goal, really good goal. And then it must have been, I'm going to say between 80 and 90th minute, so quite late in the game. Got a corner, someone headed it goalwards. I think Richard Cherry might have headed it goalwards.
The ball sort of dropped loose.
Cleared off the line.
I'm going to say it's between
And then
the
it
6 yards and the penalty spot, that sort of area.
And then it come back across, and Jim Sheringham had run
From the front midfielder,
From
Lampard-esque.
and there it is. He's at the Bradbourne Road end. Open goal other than the keeper. Put it where you want, make yourself a hero. Where does he put it? In Grace Park.
Skying it out.
Yeah, so not only do we like, oh, don't get me wrong, we've got a replay at Gateshead, but obviously the expense team in them days is getting your team up midweek to Gateshead, and we lost a £70 football as well.
Yeah.
Because no one's getting that back.
Still hasn't been found.
I think it landed next to Chris Waddles, like, but
Still hasn't been
Those
found.
were-
Landed in the council club, I think. That's how far it went. Gaping this year.
but yeah,
Went
lost,
up
lost the
there.
replay 3-0 midweek.
Yeah, had a day off school for that.
I want that go. I want that go. Yeah, thanks, Dad.
Day off school. I was on an educational visit, is what they call it nowadays.
Nice.
Yeah, like that Paul Newcastle fan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which I asked me the other week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was gut, absolutely gut, even at a young age. So when you realise football hurts.
It's the hope.
Yeah,
It's the hope. It's the hope. It's the hope
Apparently in
that
the
kills you.
replay, Gateshead were a conference team in the
Yeah,
replay.
Yeah.
they brush us aside quite easy.
Yeah. Nice. Any more? Any other teams? Any other teams you can
So
think
then you
of?
sort of after that you've got to sort of skip forward. You had
It was like a sort of a mini progression you were saying earlier, wasn't
yeah,
it?
you sort of progressively under the Saxtons where you had sort of finishing 5th, 6th, top 10 of like
And then there was
Vauxhall Oval
And
League.
then there was that year we stayed up last 10 games, one of them special
Yeah,
bonus
that
ones,
was
wasn't it?
that was when we got Dominic Gentle in. That was so I'm going to try and calculate this.
That
was-
Cherry Insurance kit.
Yeah, maybe 95, 96 was the first time Dominic Gentle came. He came in 2 seasons in a row, got goals and saves in 95, 96. They were all right sides, but they just weren't compared because you had Suttons, Kingstonians, Aylesbury's, Enfields, all these clubs were like, they were big.
And
all
at
these
this
clubs.
time, the Ryman, the Eastman League, which called them, was sort of Vauxhall League.
Yeah, Vauxhall Oval League.
Oh, Theodora one, was it?
Yeah, it would have been
But
Theodora.
that was the level below conference. That's like Conference South now.
We're
And
talking
so we weren't competing like again like off the pitch.
So it would be now, if it was the same setup, the current Grays team would be Division 2, this would be in Division 2. So we'd be quite far down the pyramid.
Yeah.
But some of the players, like teams had, were just like insane. It's like you could only dream of them. I think Woking had like Clive Walker, the ex-Chelsea player, flying down the wing, terrorising you. and that was the goal. Enfield used to just get like decent players from Tottenham or wherever. Just
Yeah.
And who else played? Was it Woking? Was it Warren Patmore?
Warren Patmore, he played for
Yeovil as well?
Yeovil, yeah. But also around that time you had teams like
Dagenham would have been Conference or our league and stuff like that. That was a big club always. wasn't it?
Leytonstone Ilford and teams like that. Like,
Still strong in them days.
Well, they had Warren Barton played for Leytonstone Ilford, didn't they?
Wow.
Like, yeah, so some of the level you're at, you're like, yeah, like you've done well. And then eventually it catches up with you. You can't compete, bigger budgets, even though we had the income of our own ground and the ball court, but we're still only getting 200 people watch. And then you go to the top teams in that division, thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Yeah, you got some big. You
Yeah.
just said some big hitters there of people that had big
I think
games.
it's like 96, 97, 97, 98. Enfield played Yeovil. Second from last game season, 8,000 people.
Wow.
And then in the Ishmael League, but obviously it was Conference South sort of level,
Yeah.
but it's still that level.
It's still 8,000 people, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I know there were segregated grounds at that level.
Yeah.
I think they even tried moving it. I think they tried moving it to another ground, and the league basically said, "Well, no, you can't do that because the demand was that big." I think in the end, I think Yeovil were only allocated something like 500 tickets. When at the time I think they was getting like 4,000 for home games.
Well.
Well, obviously they're a decent farmer club.
Yeah.
Who can travel.
Who can travel? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think
They
that's
were
what
a
they're
TFC.
averaging now, isn't it? 4, 500. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
it's good.
especially when you look at the conference now, you get teams getting 7,000 at home week in, week out. I know they're ex-professional teams.
Yeah.
But then you look at like Dulwich, the league above us, they're getting 3,000.
Nice. We can't go through the years of talking about seasons of teams without talking about some of the trophy winning sides. That's what a lot of the comments of people want us to talk about. We want to talk about everything that's related to Grays history. We don't want to focus on them, but we would be remiss not to talk about
I think
them.
you've got to
Got
look
led up to it.
but led to it because obviously there was things that led to that.
It's like the Chris Nigel era. It's
Yes,
was progression.
yeah. So after we got relegated, Gary Calder come in. So he was the Perth manager at the time.
Ex-Grays player and all.
Yeah, and he Perth were a team on the rise. They become Thurrock, and they was on the rise, and we got relegated. And I think someone approached Bob Andrews, who was a director at Perthley about jumping ship and coming to Grays, and as luck would have it, they happily obliged. And with Calder and Bob Andrews come a bit of sponsorship and better players. I think Calder's regime lasted about 20 games.
Because he was that good, he got headhunted himself
Yeah,
again.
he got approached by Enfield, who were one of the top teams.
Drawing in a few hundred to 1,000 each week.
So he obviously jumped ship to Enfield. Unfortunately, he took half the players with him, which is what it is. You know, I think that was the season we beat Langford 10-0 in the FA Cup. I think that's our record score.
Yeah.
So he jumped ship. Snowshill was his assistant. He came in, steadied the ship. I think we finished 5th or 6th. Basically because he had all the players went, and during the season he's trying
Got
to
to get one there.
he steadied the ship, done a good job. Following season, he
Was that promotion year?
he went out and he signed Vinnie John from Romford. I think he paid about $4,000 for him. Proper goal
Which is
scorer.
a lot for us, and he was a big name at our level.
Yeah.
Sort of.
He scored bag loads for Dagenham when he was younger, like when he was like 17, 18. I remember him smashing 4 against us.
But he was one of the rare strikers that signed for us and did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause like
I think the season before he signed for us for Romford, I think he scored 45 goals in 44 games.
Wow.
Like serious centre forwards, play centre back as well.
and serious celebration.
Yeah, serious celebrations, love the celebration. He brought in, that team, that was Vinnie John up front with Jamie Wallace, Hazel Dean on one wing.
Who's been the keeper? That's Andy, not Andy last year, was it?
No, he had Mickey Desborough.
Oh god.
Mickey Desborough and Ian Brooks. What a goalkeeper!
Brooks,
Ian Brooks,
Ian Brooks,
what a goalkeeper. He didn't get mentioned in the goalkeepers. Fantastic goalkeeper, Ian Brooks. Fantastic.
So where was that leading to then? Because it was like build. You were saying it was building.
So that we progressed. That season we
got promoted, didn't we? Was it last game we had to go to?
No, we went to Bromley, second from last game season. We was always in and around the top two, because the top two went up automatically, and then a playoff.
Yeah, Croydon 6 like to run.
Yeah.
away.
And what year was this?
This was
98, no, was it 2000? 2000?
This is 99, 2000.
There you go.
Right.
So we was always in and around that top two playoff area, and then we had a little wobble. Oh, God's sake!
Don't throw it away. Just don't go to clubs out of form.
And then we went to Bromley, who were on form. Bromley were really full time. We went there and beat them 3-1. 3-1.
And our kit man made an appearance in this one. Simeon, when we scored our last goal, we had a centre back, Mark Risley, celebrated, uppercutted the kit man in the celebrations.
Uppercutted him, full on up. He wasn't a kid man at the time, he was a minor.
Just a young boy.
Just a young baby rhino.
But he took the punch well.
Yeah, that was it.
And then on the coach home,
Beers as always.
Yeah.
Beers as always.
one of the players, Ben Lewis, got. What should we say?
Ben Coughlin.
Ben Coughlin. He got thrown out at Dartford somewhere. I don't know if he's got all his belongings on him still, but just for laugh, they threw him out.
With no clothes on.
No clothes on, just by the side of the M25.
Because he wouldn't sing.
Because he wouldn't join in.
Well,
Jukebox bed. With his Japanese effort car. As Bob Beckham used to
Was
say.
it 12? Was it?
I don't know. It's like,
Based on, could be based on.
Snowshill of Bob Macklin. Always. What car's that Cockney? Well, I don't know, some Japanese effort.
It went
Yeah. Well, yeah, so that was that, and then so we got promoted following season back in the Premier.
That was the Reading FA Cup season.
That was the Reading FA Cup season.
So we started getting noticed by outside investment.
Yeah. We were very poor in the league, though. It was very poor in the league, but we just kept beat Chelmsford, who were
Good.
I think they were conference at the time. Chelmsford,
Northwood in a replay.
Northwood in a replay, and then the big one.
Margate. Did Margate take the Margate year? Well, the first Margate one when.
No, Margate. The first Margate one was the year after. The one after Northwood was the fourth qualifying round.
Who's that?
Reading. That was the year we played Reading.
Oh, in the first round, yeah, sorry.
So, when you're a non-league club, you always want the biggest draw possible.
And they were top of League
And they were top
One.
of League One, so we got the biggest draw possible.
A young Alan Pardew doing his management debut or whatever.
Alan Pardew, Jamie Curtin, fresh from apparently having extracurricular activity with the Moretti chairman's daughter. It was on the front pages a couple of days before.
Yes, good luck with editing, but yeah.
Well, it was in the news.
Yeah,
It's
just
in the
report
news.
the news 20 years late.
Yeah, if it's in the news, it's happened.
I'm pretty sure there's no spoilers coming.
So yeah, obviously that attracted the attention of local businessmen.
Yeah, he wanted his own man, and once he made the deal, I think it was after. I think we lost to Carshalton or something, 3-0.
And that was
the end of Snowshill,
But
unfortunately.
it was the start of the Stimson era.
And then that led into that.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. No. So Snowshill went. Craig Edwards. Craig come in.
Oh yes.
So Woodward.
Oh, Craig's going to kill me now.
Craig is going to kill you. He looks like Charles Bronson crossed with the Monopoly Man as well nowadays.
Yes, it is.
He probably will see this as well. So.
Yeah, and he'll be sure to tie Twitter, let him know.
Yeah. So Craig come in and he brought a few players. I think he was manager of Barkingside in the senior league at the time. And brought in Merv Abraham, Nathan Thomas.
Said Dave Rainford, didn't
Dave Rainford. I think Craig Jr., his son, come in as well. He's a good player. He come in on loan from Southend, I think. Alan McLeod. And Billy Manuel. So he sort of brought in half a side.
Who's
That was the year after. He sort of he steadied the ship, and then we started losing again. You're like, going to be relegated again. And then he just sort of turned it round. I think we ran 5 games in a row towards the end of the season.
With our lone striker, Cole Leeburn.
Cole Leeburn come in, got a few goals on loan, and
last game of the season against Billericay.
Yeah.
Squad winner, stayed up.
and that was that. Moved on to the following season. I think we were sort of mid-table that season, but we'd brought in extra players. We had a little trophy run.
Jason Dazil and people like that. He brought in
we had a little FA trophy run. I think we knocked Hammond and Waterlooville.
Yes, that was a good day out.
Yeah,
Last minute goal.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was after that. I think Aldershot maybe knocked us out. Yeah, again, National League side. You're going to lose. I'm not. You're not going to lose. You don't expect to lose, but that's the level you're at.
Yeah.
And then that following season, we brought in. That's when Woodward started investing
more.
He was investing serious money. We signed. Dave Collis had been released from Charlton. Come in.
Andy Sussex, you said.
And Andy Sussex was the year before. We should have got him in, but yeah. So he brought in Dave Collis. He brought in Eddie Yads. He brought in Andy Sussex. Gary Abbott, who had scored
Stafford Brown
a million goals. Yeah, Stafford Brown, Peter Smith, Owen Cole. Jamie Loonan signed full time because we had him on loan the previous season from Southend. I think he got released, so we signed Jamie Loonan full time. Adam Miller was very good.
So it's interesting. So it all kind of then that's kind of like the amalgamation. It works all the way up to that point. I think that's a good place to stop with that one. I mean, if you had to pick one team from one season as your overall best grades team, or what best season that you watched.
So you've got the trophy seasons.
Yeah.
But we've not got that far, so that's for another day. Another thing. So I would personally probably say the Snowshill team, because the budget wasn't so good. Like Craig Edwards, he had a decent budget. Saxton Eras, and I don't really know what the budget was, because obviously
In them days, it was the local businesses all chipped in and that.
But you know, from the Snowshill, the players he had
all played for him and us.
Yeah, literally, their players would do anything to play for the club. Literally anything. You know? I think I remember one player. He was due at a wedding, and the wedding was at 12 o'clock or whatever it was. Straight from the wedding, where he's the best man. 12 o'clock wedding, best man, played with Grays, back for the evening. Right. That is commitment.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Roman Campbell done that for us once. Did he come back? He sort of come. He was standing at centre park, saying he come and play for us. Went back on holiday again.
Yeah. And look, as fans of any football club, you know, they're the kind of stories that you remember that you want to be part of, aren't they? So, cool.
I'm going to say it was Ray Taylor.
Yes.
I was going to say it was Ray Taylor. Good player.
Well,
Ray Taylor.
Massive shout out to Ray Taylor. Thank you.